Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. It is me, Jordy, and on this video it'll be like a little story time. I'm gonna tell you how my first trip went as a hotshot. Now, my first trip as an official hotshot, you know, numbers, logbooks, all that jazz. Like first legal, of course, first load was the first load and a first legal load. It was just me and my dad. Now, let me backtrack a little bit. Let me explain the scenario. At the time, my dad, my older brother, my only brother, and me, my mind went blank for a second, I'm sorry. All three of us were working in Houston doing AC work in this building. By the time that we got a call asking us how much we would do a run for, this was towards the end of this construction contract, because we were towards the end of the job. At the beginning there was about 10 of us. In the end there was maybe, well, 2 of us left, me and my older brother. We were the last ones doing, you know, the final check along the buildings, making sure everything was running well and running correct. And we got a random call. At this point also, we already had my dad's truck, this one that I'm currently in, a 2016 Ram 3500 that we have dubbed White Owl. But we didn't have, I don't think we had trailers at the time. Or maybe we did have a 25-footer. But that's besides the point. The main point was that we had the 2016 Ram 3500 with a flatbed. We had business cards, you know, we were all legal. We had gone around to some shops around Richmond, Rosenberg, where we live, and, you know, word of mouth, hey, here's my card, I got a new company, it's starting up, if you ever need something moved, let me know, so on and so forth, you know. So I got a random call around noon when I was working at this place. Hello, I'm so-and-so, I got a load for you. It's only one pallet, you can go on your truck. It's from Rosenberg, Richmond. It's in my town, like 15 minutes away from my house, all the way to Odessa. And I want to say that's maybe 500 miles, maybe 600 miles. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll correct myself a little bit ahead of the video, maybe. But, you know, he called us. We had no idea on rates. We were unprepared, pretty much. We had some general idea of what we wanted or what was reasonable to charge, because my dad has friends in the industry who somewhat know and have, you know, kind of gave us a little bit of tips and feedback. So the man called, we negotiated back and forth. Of course, the first number I gave was not smart, but in the end, you know, we talked about it. You know, I let him know, hey, I'm new, you know, can you extend the olive branch to me, you know, help somebody out and I'm gonna help you out type of deal. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So in the end, it was fine. We came into an agreement on the price, which was good. And we were good, we were set. So then he asked me when I wanted to get loaded. I asked him what time was, like, you know, when I could get loaded, and he's all like, pretty much like around 6 or something like that, 6 p.m. And then what was crazy was around 6 p.m. we left work around 4:30. I think we left like half an hour earlier, and we took off. We were excited. I was excited because I knew I was for sure gonna go on the run. My brother couldn't go because he had to come back to the building the next day to continue working, and my dad was gonna go with me. So me and my dad were ecstatic. We were over the moon, but we were also nervous, scared, so many emotions. This was like an 8-hour, 9-hour drive from Richmond to Odessa. So, you know, I just got home, took a quick shower, changed, jumped in the truck, and then we went to go load up. We loaded up this some pipe looking thing. I don't really remember off the top of my head. All I remember was they put it on. We threw 2 straps on, and then the people there were like, "You guys are new, aren't y'all?" We're like, "Yeah, we're just starting. This is actually our first load." They're like, "Okay, here's some tips. Here, this is what they see other drivers do," and they helped us out a lot, which is amazing. So, when we put the straps on it, there was a little bit of a sharp edge. They're like, "Hey, I know you probably don't have these, the edge protectors," so they gave me some cardboard. They were just helping us out. They were amazing. And, we got strapped. I put the address on the GPS. And right before we took off, we said a little prayer, me and my dad, because, 8 hours going on a GPS. You've never been down that way before. You have no idea what's going to happen. You don't know how the road's going to be. You're just scared. You're genuinely scared, Well, I don't want to say I was scared. I was more like excited, nervous excited. Because you always have, you hope for the best, but expect the worst type of deal, Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Something like that. So, I put the address in, and me and my dad were like, "Oh, dang, it's like 8 hours. We got this." And they're like, "Just drive straight through. Somebody will be there to offload you because they need it immediately." So, me and my dad took off. Let me tell you, neither of us slept the whole way there or the whole way back. We were cruising. My dad took the first leg of the trip, and like I said, we were new. We didn't have, built up stamina for driving because, believe it or not, this gets tiring AF. And this is our first time, so we would swap back and forth every 2-3 hours. And every time I know I annoyed my dad so much because every time I'll see a sign, I'll be like, "That's that sign, this is this sign, this is that sign." When we were going, my dad didn't tell me nothing, he just dealt with it. But like maybe a few months later, when we were like a little bit more gung-ho onto doing this and pursuing this, he was all like, "Man," right when we can reflect on how it went, like, "Man, you were so annoying." But the thing was, like, we enjoyed it. We had so much fun. Me and my dad went over there. I forgot what time we dropped off. I know it was late. It was like 3-4 in the morning, something like that. Let's say I took off at 6. It's about an 8-hour drive. Put it at 9, maybe 10 for a new person. So 6. Another 6 hours, that'll be midnight. So we got there, let's say roughly 4 in the morning. So we got there, we offloaded. Me and my dad were ecstatic when we offloaded. They signed our paperwork. We're like, "Hey, here's your load." And then we're just like, we were over the moon when we had offloaded. And again, we're new. We deadheaded all the way back those 8 hours, 500, 600 some odd miles. But it was just a truck. I mean, what can you do? What? We were new. We were just happy when we made it, and we're like, "Wow, we actually did this." This is a crazy accomplishment for us, at least. At the time being. So, we were excited. Like I said, they signed our paperwork, and we just took off and came back home. We gave the gentleman the paperwork. He gave us our check. And we were just like, we were over the moon. We were all like, this is it. This is what we want to do. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to make it. And that's how it slowly started to snowball into having to purchase my 2017 at the time because we were double booked from the same person. But that's a story for another time. But for this story, it was pretty much got a random phone call, unexpected, got loaded, drove. We were up for maybe 20 hours without sleep, me and my dad, you know, you're just starting a new, I guess, phase or chapter in your life, and it was crazy and ecstatic. And from there on, we've always gotten like that like, I guess you could call it like a trucker's high or whatever. That right when you offload, you just take like a load off your back. You're on top of the moon, especially the first time you do it, because it's like, in a sense, you're testing yourself and you're testing your willpower to see if you can do it. And I'm pretty sure like my dad could have done it by himself, or I could have done it by myself, but it would have been way more grueling, way more exhausting, and it would have taken more time. So yeah, it was an experience that I will never forget. I'm glad I did that first run ever with my dad, going to West Texas, driving those 9-10 hours. I don't even remember if it felt like an eternity or not. I was just so excited to be with my dad and cruising. But yeah, that was my experience with my first hotshot load. I'm sorry if the details were a little bit here and there. I'm still trying to figure this YouTube thing out, getting my set correct, and all this stuff and all that. I'm progressing, slowly learning and adapting. And I guess this will be another sub-chapter in my life, this YouTube thing that I'm doing. So I'm gonna just quit rambling. Y'all stay safe out there. Let me know what you think. Let me know how your first trip went, if you've done a trip, if you've done your first trip before. Or actually, let me just know how your first long haul went, whether it be a trip, family vacation, anything. When you drove and you're like, your first time using a GPS, going out of your element, not knowing nothing, just kind of like hoping and praying for the best, and just making it. Let me know how that went for you. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. If you stuck it out here to the end, you're amazing. And if you didn't, you're still amazing. I don't know. Anyways, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe, and yeah, y'all have a good one. Let's see what the rest of this year has in store for us. Let's see how this snowball keeps on growing and growing and growing, God willing, of course, if it's in the plan. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Till the next one. Oh, I'm gonna just steal this from Toe Piglet. Peace.